50,000 soldiers marched into the desert, and not a single one ever returned. No battle, no survivors, no bodies, just disappearance. For over 2,000 years, historians, archaeologists, and storytellers have debated what truly happened to the Lost Army of Persia. Was it swallowed by a sandstorm? Betrayed in the darkness? Or is this ancient mystery nothing more than legend? Today, we dive deep into the chilling tale of an army erased from existence in a single night. Welcome to Dynasties, where we peel back the layers of history to uncover the world's most baffling mysteries and forgotten sagas. Few stories are as debated as the vanishing of the Persian army sent by King Cambyses II around 524 BCE. This event isn't just fascinating because of the mystery. It's important because it shows us how fragile even the mightiest empires can be. When a force of tens of thousands disappears without a trace, it challenges what we think we know about ancient warfare and the power of nature. So settle in, because today, we're unraveling one of history's coldest cases. To understand how 50,000 men could vanish, we first need to understand why they were marching in the first place. Cambyses II, ruler of the Achaemenid Empire and son of Cyrus the Great, had just completed the conquest of Egypt. His ambition burned beyond simple victory. Egypt was only the beginning. His next target, the Oracle of Ammon, located at Siwa Oasis, deep in the Libyan desert. Why attack a religious sanctuary? Because the oracle held influence, power, and, perhaps most importantly, credibility. If Cambyses could silence or control it, he could cement his rule over Egypt spiritually, not just politically. So he ordered 50,000 men, likely a mix of Persian infantry, Egyptian levies, and tribal auxiliaries, to march across the Sahara and bring the oracle to heel. This was no small force. This was an army capable of crushing cities, and yet it would never arrive. Crossing the desert was a bold move, but not a suicide mission. Ancient armies had crossed deserts before, with preparation. However, the Libyan desert wasn't just any desert. It was, and still is, one of the harshest places on Earth. Shifting sands that could bury roads and swallow supplies, scorching temperatures by day, freezing nights. Still, the army marched. Herodotus, writing more than a century later, claimed that after several days of travel, the army reached the oasis of El-Karga. From there, they continued deeper into the sands. And then, nothing. Herodotus writes that a massive sandstorm engulfed them, that the desert itself rose up, burying the army alive beneath dunes. It's the version most people know, but is it true? For centuries, historians questioned the story. Sandstorms can bury individuals, maybe even small units, but an entire force of 50,000, skeptics argued. There are no bodies, no weapons, no camp remnants, nothing to mark their passing. Did they really disappear in a storm? Or did Herodotus embellish the tale? Some scholars have suggested alternative explanations for the army's fate. One theory argues that the troops may have mutinied or deserted. Facing thirst and starvation, they could have attempted to turn back, only to be ambushed during their retreat. Armies, after all, collapse more often than they triumph. Another possibility is that the force never numbered 50,000 at all. Ancient historians often exaggerated figures, using numbers symbolically. Yet even if the army were much smaller, the disappearance of thousands of men without a trace is still troubling. A final theory suggests defeat by local desert tribes. The Libyans knew the terrain intimately and could strike swiftly, then vanish, making them far more dangerous than the Persians may have anticipated. But each theory has its flaws. If they turned back, why no skeletal remains? If they were defeated, why no battlefield artifacts? If the numbers were exaggerated, why would Egyptian and Persian accounts align with the story? The mystery deepens. In the early 2000s, interest in the Lost Army reignited. Archaeologists Angelo and Alfredo Castiglione announced they found potential evidence. During expeditions, the brothers found ancient artifacts and human remains in the desert sands that they dated to the time of Cambyses' campaign. Were they proof? Maybe. But the academic world pushed back. The findings weren't universally accepted. Critics said the artifacts lacked context. They could have been from another period, another battle. Still, the discovery tantalized the imagination. Then came satellite imaging and geological studies. Researchers discovered that massive sandstorms can last days. They also can bury entire caravan routes. Furthermore, the desert shifts enough to hide remains for millennia. Suddenly, Herodotus' story didn't seem so impossible. Modern climatology suggests that a hubub, an enormous wall of dust, could absolutely blanket and suffocate thousands. The Sahara has buried cities. Why not an army? And perhaps, the desert still holds them. What makes the Lost Army more than just a tale is what it represents. On one level, it's a cautionary story of hubris. Cambyses, confident in his empire's power, sent men against nature, and nature won. On another level, it's a reminder of how fragile history is. We assume that major events leave evidence, that the past can always be reconstructed. But here, history simply disappears. 50,000 lives, families, stories, gone. Ancient Egypt and Persia were two of the most documented civilizations on Earth. Yet, we're still left with speculation. This mystery humbles us. Our understanding of the past is incomplete, and sometimes all we have are fragments, dust-covered echoes. Even today, parts of the Sahara remain unexplored. Beneath the sands, artifacts lie untouched. Perhaps the army rests there, still waiting for a future archaeologist to uncover it. Until then, the mystery stands. The story of the Lost Army of Persia endures not because it has answers, but because it doesn't. It reminds us that history is alive, full of unanswered questions, and that nature, not kings, has the final word. So what do you think happened? Were they buried by a sandstorm? Ambushed? Did they never exist in such numbers? Let's continue this discussion in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient mystery, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Dusted Dynasties, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another journey into the forgotten corners of the past. Because here on Dusted Dynasties, we don't just study history, we resurrect it.